Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I love prepping for a show, and then as I drive down 24, realizing, my first segment is out the window because we have to talk about this now. It's exciting.
The adrenaline.
We're ready to go. I don't know if I can read Trump's statement on the air because it's got the Michael Buffer line at the end.
Well, you could just say not say it, but just we know what it is.
So, you could get sued for it?
Yes.
So, I don't know if I'm allowed to do it. I don't know.
We know that, yes, the rumbling, yes.
Things we're getting ready for.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Trump said. All right.
It's like the gag order. We're avoiding it. Yeah.
So, all right. So I want to talk about what happened on Twitter this morning. But first, here's something you might have missed on Twitter. Heidi Campbell wished herself a happy birthday from her own account. Is that the cringiest thing you can do?
Dang.
Go pull up her account. Pull up her account, Campbell4TN.
Yeah.
And it's not just that she wished herself a happy birthday. They made a graphic.
All right, pulling it up here.
Let me know on a scale of 1 to cringe what you think about that.
I couldn't even look at that for more than 2 seconds.
All right, I retweeted it from my account. I don't want you to miss that one's going to go under the radar on Twitter this morning.
No,
but
I want to do that with you on your birthday.
It may be the most cringe thing I've ever seen. This may be more cringy than Hillary Clinton's happy birthday to this future president. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? At least Hillary didn't do a cheesy party hat on her profile picture.
Yeah.
Also, have you noticed Heidi Campbell's picture? What is she doing with her hands?
Yeah, is she in the middle of a dance or snapping or something?
I don't know what she's doing.
It looks like she's in the middle of,
looks like she's doing the money sign, like all Democrats give me more money. I had to address that first. Straight cash. So
yeah, that's very cringe.
That's super cringe.
Love that.
Super cringe. Also, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico, has been shot during an assassination attempt. That just happened as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Video doesn't look good.
So shot, not killed?
Shot. He has not succumbed to any injuries yet, but there's video of him being rushed from the scene, thrown into a vehicle by his Secret Service or whatever they call him in Slovakia, and just fleeing the scene.
Wow.
That's Lots going on this morning. Everybody's replying to the happy birthday to this state senator, Heidi. It is the cringiest post.
I saw your post on that, man. Johnny and I were...
Ken, do you think that's more cringy than Hillary Clinton's happy birthday to this future president?
Oh, boy. I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I don't know. I think the graphic...
The graphic
graphic's rough. The little party hat.
It's next level, and you wrote it in a little semicircle. Happy birthday, Heidi. So I just want to wish Heidi Campbell a happy birthday from the Chris Hand Show. Should we sing? Let's not sing.
No, let's not sing.
Let's not sing.
We want to do that to our listeners.
No, exactly.
No. All right. If you missed, because Twitter got crazy this morning, if you missed Heidi Campbell's cringe post,
jeez,
why don't you go on over there and wish her a happy birthday?
Yeah, I don't think I needed that in my life, but I'm glad I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is what we're here for. We want to cover the news that you might miss. Happy birthday, Heidi. Do you think she's ever going to come on the show now? No, probably not.
Who knows? Have you asked her?
I've tweeted at her a couple times.
Oh, okay. That wasn't the question, but yeah.
Well, but it was a question.
That's fair.
It was all 17,000 people are looking at that going, So people are just roasting her in the comments. Roasting her. So that's fun. Go find it on my Twitter account at Chris Hand on Air. Hit the follow button while you're there. I will follow back. But the big news this morning, Joe Biden released a heavily edited video where he's letting Donald Trump know, let's go, bro. Debates. Are you guys hype about this? Oh, hold on one second. There you go. 5 edits in this 13-second video.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Yes.
I love how he says, I'll even do it twice. It's like, well, normally there's 3. So, like, you're not gifting anybody anything. What a clown.
That last line's kind of funny.
Make my day, pal.
No, I heard you're free on Wednesdays.
Oh,
that's kind of funny.
That is pretty good. That's pretty good. Somebody wrote that for him.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Make my day, the whole thing. Of course.
I heard Ken earlier. Ken goes, I don't even think that's him.
I don't. I think that could possibly be.
Oh, no.
I think it could be somebody.
Yeah, no, come back.
That very well could be somebody in a mask. I don't know. They would have had less edits.
Yeah, it's true.
14 seconds, 5 noticeable edits. Here's the thing, and I don't want to give them ideas. Use 2 cameras. Give me a side shot and a front shot, and the edits won't seem as glitchy and jarring. Whoever edited this must have just got out of video editing school. Maybe they spent a little bit too much time protesting on their college campus. But this is it's bad. It's very bad. So Trump responded to Biden's debate video relatively quickly because he got today off. You know what I mean? He's free.
It's free.
Wednesdays are free.
Wednesdays are free.
Crooked Joe Biden is the worst debater I have ever faced. You can't put 2 sentences together. Crooked is also the worst president in the history of the United States by far. It's time for a debate so that he can explain to the American people his highly destructive open border policy, new and ridiculous EV mandates, the allowance of crushing inflation, high taxes, and his weak foreign policy, which is allowing the world to catch on fire. I am ready and willing to debate Crooked Joe at the 2 proposed times in June and September. I would strongly recommend more than 2 debates and, for excitement purposes, a very large venue. Although Biden is supposedly afraid of crowds. That's only because he doesn't get them. Just tell me when. I'll be there. And he closes with the Michael Buffer line about preparing to rumble. Is that a good way to do it?
That's a good way to say it.
Yes.
I can't say that anybody's getting ready.
No.
No, you can't do that.
Because we could get sued.
Yes.
Also, is it time for them to just end that? Like,
Yeah, come on.
Nobody even says it anymore.
No. Come on, man.
Like, and I'm gonna get into. I could get in trouble if I besmirch the great Michael Buffer. Ooh, don't say those 6 words. Oh. So I won't.
Good job.
I got in trouble yesterday.
For what?
YouTube yelled at me. I have to take a YouTube re-education course.
What were we doing?
Allowing callers to just talk. Seriously. Honestly, that really happened. That's a story for another day, and I'll be happy to tell you in person, but I don't want the YouTube oligarchs and dystopian higher-ups over there to strike me down again. Bunch of losers. All right, so I'm not bitter. I'm not upset about it at all. All right, so did they release this video because of the inflation stuff getting released? That's what I think happened. It seems like Joe Biden was sitting on this video forever. If you look at it, at the very least, he recorded it yesterday afternoon, right? At the earliest. It's still daytime out. He's looking chipper, but he's had a couple events, and Joe can't do more than 2 events a day because the cocktail that they give him is bad for his heart, I would assume. So how long have they been sitting on this video? This is what the Dems do. They're so good at narrative control. Today is going to be dominated by debate talk when inflation numbers were released. And it was, I mean, how much of a difference in time was it? It was like the inflation numbers came out. I heard Ken reporting on it in the morning, and it was maybe 6-7 minutes later, this Joe Biden video drops. What, Ken, do you know what time the inflation numbers came out at?
7:30.
7:30. Okay, and then I'm pulling up Joe's account. Joe put that video out at 7 a.m. So was it 7:30 East Coast?
Yeah, his would have been 7 a.m. Well,
Our time, right? So that would be 8 a.m.
Well,
East
no,
Coast?
that would have been Mountain Time if his was 7 a.m.
Okay, so I don't do time zones well. I'm not good at time zones. So it was either 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's after.
That's what I'm thinking too. That the timing seems like what Democrats are doing. They're just trying to change the narrative. And you know what? To their credit, they have. That's going to be the discussion today. 2 debates, June and September. I got a message from my friend Aaron on Twitter. You can do this too if you follow me on Twitter at Chris Hand on Air. I love the engagement and you guys sending me info. I love crowdsourcing this kind of stuff because we can't possibly keep up with all of it. It's like drinking through a fire hose. But Brian Stelter tweeted out, Biden's team has requested that the only broadcast networks that hosted Republican primary debates in 2016 and Democrat primary debates in 2020 be eligible to host this year's event. So that's 4 networks: CNN, ABC, Telemundo, and CBS News. That's what they want. They want networks that like them, that are going to put in moderators that will also debate Trump at the exact same time. Because Joe is not going to be able to do this on his own. If you remember in 2020, they shut down the Hunter Biden laptop story. They shut down the money from the Moscow mayor's wife. They shut down Trump every step of the way they could, called it Russian disinformation. And you know, here we are 3 years later. And I hate to, I don't hate to say it. I hate to have to tell you now what Trump said was right. Joe Biden lied, and Trump was right. And we're finding that out. We knew that, but the public is finding that out. It's a crazy time to be alive, is it not? And they're covering up the inflation numbers. That's what they're doing. Was it 3.5% year over year? And me and Dan were talking off the air. You know, you can talk inflation and all that and like, ooh, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. The prices are still way too high.
Yeah. Well, it's like in April, it went down from March like 0.1%. So it's like saying today it's going to be 99 degrees, tomorrow 98.
Yeah, exactly. And they expected it to rise 0.2%. It rose 0.3%. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
So that's the month to month.
That's month to month.
It's still 3.4% year over year.
Yes. And it's mainly because the high cost of rent, fuel, healthcare, car insurance, things you got to have.
Things you have to have. Last month, the Labor Department said the consumer price index, like Ken said, rose 0.4% from the prior month and 3.5% compared with a year earlier. Core inflation, it excludes food and energy. Compared with a year ago, core inflation is up 3.6%. The numbers are bad. The in-store prices are even worse. And when you compare the prices to when Trump was in office, it's not even in the same realm of what we were dealing with. Not even close. So the Biden administration does what Democrats do, and they're distracting from that today with Joe Biden releasing a video saying, name it. Let's do it, pal. I'm ready. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. Classic Democrats. This is what they do. Are you surprised? You're not surprised. You're too smart for that. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. My name is Chris Hand. Find me on Twitter, Truth Social, and Instagram. Hit the follow button. I will follow back. I'm at Chris Hand on Air. It's 9:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, it's Chris Hand from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. I've been telling you for a while, it's time to get your annual maintenance done. Don't wait. If you wait, you're going to have a problem pop up. And I waited, and I had a problem pop up. Embarrassed to say it, but I don't want this to happen to you. It's the time of year to get your maintenance done. Be proactive. Keep your unit in tip-top shape. If you wait like I did, don't worry. Call my friends at Busy Bee. I'm a Beehive member, so I had front-of-the-line service. And when I called Busy Bee, they were at my home in less than an hour. Joe Henry, my boy, showed up. He had me up and running in no time. It was so quick, so fast, so easy. Becoming a Beehive member is just as quick and fast and easy. For just $99, you get 3 annual tune-ups on your heating, cooling, and plumbing. 10% discount on all repairs. Priority front-of-the-line service, and that is key. Plus $100 annual accrued replacement credit with a maximum of $1,000. No overtime or holiday fees, and exclusive Beehive member promotions. That's just for $99. When I tell you it's going to pay for itself, trust me, it will pay for itself. And maybe you need to replace that AC. You've been kicking the can because, you didn't really have to during the winter. Well, summer's on its way. It's essentially here, and the high temperatures aren't going to be going anywhere pretty soon. If you need to replace that AC system, call Busy Bee. They offer up to 12 months with no payment, no interest, with approved credit, and you can get all of that done on Saturday with their convenient availability hours for your replacement or your maintenance calls. You'll never be left dealing with the heat over the weekend. Busy Bee, your Rude Pro partner for satisfaction guaranteed. Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 615-775-7833. That's 615-775-7833. Online, busybeehvac.com.
The guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. It's really simple. We bring you an all-cash offer. You close in as little as 21 days. No home inspections, no lock boxes, no open houses. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer and start packing.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt Murphy for Members Nutrition. I want to tell you about the Members Nutrition difference, and I want to encourage you to go over to the Members Nutrition website. Number one, they believe at Members Nutrition that they can sell vitamins and supplements at a lower cost point, and they're doing it every single day at membersnutrition.com. Number two, they want to make these products right here in the United States of America, not from some overseas company, and they do that every single day. I encourage you to go to membersnutrition.com. You'll get 50% off your purchase price at checkout. You don't have to put in any codes. Just go to membersnutrition.com. Once again, membersnutrition.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I am so glad that California Closets has fixed my closet catastrophe. After exact measuring and planning, they came over and got to work. Yeah, once it was all plotted out on their 3D CAD system, the pieces are measured, cut, and precisely installed into my space. It was clean, fast, and professional, and above all, my new closets look and function great. Now, this was my dormer, and now this is my new dormer thanks to California Closets. Look at all of this added space for shirts and shoes, you name it, and it is cut so precisely, simply amazing. And my old closet that has now been reborn as the ultimate in style and functionality, making the best use of the space that I had. They can work on just about anything: bedrooms, garages, home offices, closets, pantries, and so much more. Find them online, CaliforniaClosets.com, and see what they can do for you. You can schedule a free design consultation. Mention my name, CaliforniaClosets.com.
got a heads up for drivers. This is going to be Wilson County, where we just got a texter tell us that cows are loose on 840 there at exit 14. That is going to be 840 in Wilson County. Meanwhile, an assassination attempt overseas. We'll tell you all about it at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I just want to point out, leading with the cows, that's the move.
Did you say
crazy.
the move?
That's the move. Also, I want to thank everybody on the Members Nutrition text line giving me alternatives to what I can say for the Michael Buffer line. 4209 said, let's get ready to tumble.
There you go.
Mario said, are you ready to grumble? And my personal favorite from Sally, let's get ready to Roomba. Let's go to Bill in Nashville. Wants to talk about the Democrat Party. Bill, you're on Super Talk. What's up, man?
Hey, Chris. Listen, I just want to say it's so disturbing listening to you guys, and I'm not talking about just you personally. I'm talking about the entire.
Well, we're gonna isolate that for the best of.
Okay.
Okay.
But almost every day, talking about how the Democratic Party has redirected the conversation or changed the narrative or, put more roadblocks in place of trying to find justice for a lot of the things that we see as illegal activity. You cannot make me believe that a group of people that call themselves Republicans and or conservative are not that caught off guard. I mean, you had Brian Wilson, I think it was yesterday, just shocked that they supposedly have uncovered that in 2021 there was a directive from the president issuing that all illegals or all migrants coming into this country have to be given information on voting. Well, 3 years, you cannot make me believe that the majority of the Republican Party, which I think there might be only three, Trump, Chip Roy, Rand Paul, that actually understand what's actually going on. The rest are complicit. You cannot make me believe that a group of people that consider themselves supposedly educated politicians are constantly on their laurels, backtracking, trying to catch up, and not recognizing that the Democratic Party, it's not a joke. They are diabolically brilliant in what they've been able to do. And it's just so disturbing.
Hey, I'm with you, Bill, and I appreciate the call, man. It's 9:31 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 2 minutes. An assassination attempt. We're monitoring multiple reports that Slovakia's prime minister has been shot and is in life-threatening condition. The 59-year-old shot in the abdomen in an assassination attempt, then raced to a hospital about 2 hours away. A suspect reportedly swarmed and arrested immediately there at the scene. President Biden is insisting on 2 debates with former President Trump, but on Biden's terms. The president wanting the debates organized by the media instead of the nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates, which has hosted every fall face-off between the major party candidates since 1988. And Trump says, bring it on. A new readout on the inflation rate shows some prices still stubbornly high. The latest consumer price index, 3.4%, just 0.1% lower than the reading last month. Prices for sectors like rent and healthcare aren't moving lower. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thank you, Ken. Hey, it's Chris Hand for my friends at United Structural Systems. Rain last week, more rain this week. If you're having waterproofing problems, don't feel bad. Call USS. United Structural Systems are your waterproofing experts. And I had the chance to sit down and meet these guys, and they told me about the work that they do. And they said, listen, you don't know you need USS until you know you need USS. And if you're getting water in your home, now is the time when you're like, yeah, I need to call USS. And I got to tell you, these are honest, good guys, hardworking, and proud of the work they do. And after the rain, if you're noticing standing water in your crawl space or in your basement, wet basement walls, cracks in your basement floors, that's your house trying to tell you something. Give the guys at USS a call. They'll come out, create a custom solution for your home, and then They won't leave until the work is done and you're satisfied. They've done this over 25,000 times. They have 25,000 satisfied customers. They've been doing it in Middle Tennessee for decades. They're your waterproofing experts. If you got water coming in, call USS today. United Structural Systems, 615-488-7855. That's 615-488-7855. All the info for USS is online too. USSTN.com. 9:38 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm still hung up on this Heidi Campbell happy birthday post. All right, so I need everybody to help me. Can you guys help? Do you think you can help?
Yeah, you're trying to.
Okay,
I'm forgetting the name that you're.
So she posted it an hour ago. She's got 40 likes. Okay, and then I posted a tweet saying it's pretty cringy. And I quote tweeted it. I have 16 likes. I want to beat her. I want to get more likes on This Is Cringe than on her original post. So if you can assist me with that.
Yeah, what's that called? I keep
ratioing.
Yeah, you want to ratio her. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
I couldn't remember.
Essentially. So can you like it, Mac?
Done.
Ken, I'm going to need you to like
We're
it.
almost halfway.
So that's like, we're halfway there. So if you don't like Heidi Campbell and you think wishing yourself a happy birthday on Twitter is cringy, at Chris Hand on Air, let's get more likes on that than on Heidi Campbell's. Oh, there's the notification from Mac. Mac J. Morey 25 on Twitter as well. Do you have a new podcast coming out under the box scene?
I do. I do not right now. No, not this week. No.
No sports going on?
Yeah, there's some sports happening.
I was really looking forward to your polo take and underwater hockey. All right, the likes are coming in. You guys are the best.
Yes.
At Chris Hand on Air. We got to get more likes on my post than on Heidi's original post. The cringiest of cringe.
So cringy.
Yep. Yeah, Sharon of the Red Pilled Moms Club said, like it on X. Yes, at Chris Hand on Air.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So cringy. Also cringy. Cringe John Pierre, KJP. She was asked about Kamala swearing. Do you remember I played this yesterday. Kamala Harris sweared and
swore. Yep.
Swore. Mm-hmm. Sweared.
Yes.
Swore.
She swore.
Cussed.
Yes.
She used foul language.
Yes.
She was very inappropriate. This is Kamala Harris.
We have to know that sometimes people will open the door for you and leave it open. Sometimes they won't. And then you need to kick that door down. Excuse my language.
Remind me during the commercial break to send that to my wife as a voice note again, the Kamala laugh. So anyway, so Kamala says, you got to kick that door down with the F word in there. She ignores the fact that, Asian Americans are the number one income earners according to the last U.S. Census. She ignores the fact that Pacific Islanders are the number 3 income earners in the country according to the last census. What doors are we kicking down? It makes no sense. But Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about Kamala Harris and her cussing. And this may be more cringy than Heidi Campbell's birthday post.
I also wanted to ask you a question that you were not asked yesterday. It's in regards to the vice president's language that she used yesterday to young people. I'm not going to repeat that language. I don't use that language publicly, and I don't think you want me to repeat verbatim.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to repeat it or not. I can't speak for you.
I'm not going to. So
okay,
my question to you is that appropriate? Were you surprised she used that language? Was this a one-off, or can we expect similar language from the vice president going forward?
So look, for those of you who have, covered the vice president, knows the vice president, she's passionate about what she fights for. She is.
She's very passionate. She's very passionate. Like when she was a prosecutor, she was very passionate about putting kids in jail for weed.
And I think it's important to have someone who's passionate about what they're speaking about what they're trying to lift up.
What they're trying to lift. Do you lift things up by swearing? It's interesting because the media demonizes Trump every time he swears.
And you've seen her be incredibly passionate about reproductive freedom.
Reproductive freedom. That's a new one. You mean abortion?
And what's happening right now in this country when it comes to women's right, women's ability to choose, make really difficult decisions on their body. You've seen her talk about that with ending gun violence and encouraging young people to not let any obstacles get in the way. And so we're talking about someone who has broken glass ceilings.
Talking about somebody that's broken glass ceilings. So she's covering for Kamala Harris. She wants to let everybody know how passionate she is about reproductive freedom and making sure that the AANHPI community is able to kick down those doors and maybe one day they can get higher than the top 3 income earners in this country. Hopefully. If anybody can help them do it, it's Kamala Harris. She's broken those glass ceilings. But then it takes a turn where cringe just starts kissing the rear end of Kamala Harris. And it's something special.
Right? We're talking about someone who can speak to, about what it's like to go through that process. And so she's incredibly passionate, and I will leave it there. And, I could not be more proud to have her as someone that I look up to as vice president, and I think many people here would say the same.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the best female vice president we've ever had. Cringe Jean-Pierre. So just covering for the Democrats every step of the way. The same woman will just absolutely demonize Trump when he says a swear word. It's funny, though, during that same press conference, she was asked about Mike Johnson going to the Trump trial. And she says, listen, I can't really comment on that. And she says the quiet part out loud. She says she can't comment on Mike Johnson going to the Trump trial because it's related to the election.
Was it appropriate for Speaker Johnson to show up at the trial of the former president today?
So look, I can't speak to, don't want to comment, obviously, as this is related to 2024.
Oh, the trials are related to 2024. Isn't that amazing? I was under the impression that this was separate from 2024 and had nothing to do with the election. But she's saying the quiet part out loud. The lawfare is because of 2024.
Don't want to comment, obviously, as this is related to 2024 elections, and I can't speak to the speaker's schedule. That is something for him to decide on. And
She says the quiet part out loud. If you let Democrats talk long enough, they'll tell on themselves. And that's what she's doing right there. She's essentially admitting that the lawfare is related to the 2024 election. You got to love it. You got to love it. If you let them talk long enough, they will tell on themselves. And they continue to do so. Peter Doocy was also back yesterday. I don't know where Deuce has been. Maybe they just haven't called on him recently. But he's back and he's bringing some heat.
Why do you think Americans are so down on President Biden right now?
what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What? This is news to KJP. What do you mean? Well, if you look at the polls, people hate him.
I know you don't like to talk about polls like the 5 of 6 swing states that he is losing right now to somebody who is a criminal defendant. But more broadly, it doesn't seem like anything you guys are doing is making him more popular. Why do you think that is?
So you've mentioned a criminal defendant, your words, not mine. So I want to be super mindful about how I answer this question because obviously that criminal defendant is also in the race for 2024 election. So I'm going to be super mindful there.
I don't know if he should have used that. I think he was using that as an insult to her. Oh, he's a criminal defendant and you're still losing in 5 out of 6 swing states. Depending on what polls you look at, he's losing all the swing states. And, what was it? Fareed Zakaria the other day was on CNN. He said, listen, the polls don't overestimate for Trump. Quite the opposite. They underestimate for Trump. But he says, criminal defendant, and then she gleefully repeats it. And she says, your words, not mine. He's a criminal defendant. And that criminal defendant is running for president.
In the race for 2024 election. So I'm going to be super mindful there.
Be super mindful.
I will speak more broadly to what the American people are going through. Like, we understand. We are sensitive enough and open-minded enough to understand that this is, that not just this country, but globally, people have had to deal with a pandemic.
This is where the excuse making comes in. We understand, but let me tell you all the reasons why it's not my fault. why it's not this administration's fault and why it's not this president's fault. You remember the pandemic. Oh, the empty chairs around the kitchen table, all the things. You remember that, right, Deuce?
And coming out of that pandemic, we understand that even, you think about gas prices, and because of Putin's war.
Oh, there it is, the Putin price hike. Remember that talking point? I remember that talking point. The Putin price hike. It has nothing to do with the fact that we're canceling leases for oil drilling in this country. It has nothing to do with the EV mandates and the demonization of oil by this administration. It's Putin.
What that has occurred that led to gas prices increasing. And the president had a lot to deal with when he walked in. A lot of crises. And this is a president that took that very, very seriously and took action. The American Rescue Plan. No Republicans voted for that, but we ended up trying to work to get an economy that's fairer for all.
Yeah, they've worked to get an economy that's fair for all, but they've taken a unique way to do that. What they've done is they've made the economy trash for everyone. I mean, listen, if you want to talk about fairness, at least it's bad for all, right? That's what they've been working towards, and gosh darn it, they've achieved it.
And make sure that we don't leave people behind, and creating 15 million jobs.
The jobs that came back after the pandemic, right? That you pointed to in the opening of your answer as the reason for all your problems.
An unemployment rate that's under 4%. We understand that people are still feeling this. We get that. And we're not blind to that.
No, but you are blind to the polls, which reflect your handling of it. And everybody says, we're leaning towards Trump. In fact, a Trump pollster has said Virginia and Minnesota are now in play. They're in play. It doesn't shock me. Have you heard about Minnesota voters? Minnesota voters, they're not too impressed with what's going on. Minnesota voters, they understand, just like many voters do, this economy was way better under Trump. He's losing the youth vote. I know Ken covered that in his newscast earlier today. Inflation is killing Gen Z.
Inflation has been an issue, but it is really bad for Gen Z.
This is according to a new study from the credit agency TransUnion. They looked at credit usage for people between 22 and 24 years old and found that they're earning less money, they have more debt, and they have higher rates of delinquency compared to millennials when they were that age.
I thought wages were rising. I thought their wages were outpacing inflation. So I guess not for Gen Z, though, right?
Soaring interest rates have also hiked borrowing costs when it comes to cars and student loan payments.
So Gen Z is not feeling too confident about Joe Biden's handling of the economy. And you can tell us it's the pandemic. You can tell us it's Putin's price hike. But people know what time it is. They do. Also, I want to point out, we have the best audience ever. So at the beginning of the break, I said, listen, Heidi Campbell wished herself a happy birthday on Twitter. That her happy birthday post is up to 47 likes. It was 40 when I started the break. My post was at 16 likes when I called it cringy before that, and you guys stepped up to the plate. We're now at 78 likes. To her 47.
Ratioed.
We ratioed. Happy birthday, Heidi. The cringiest birthday party ever is going to happen tonight with Heidi Campbell. It's 9:52 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, it's Chris Hand for my friends at Paul Winkler Inc. You know Paul. He would never wish himself a happy birthday on social media. Paul is a professional. Paul understands what time it is, and Paul wants to make sure that your financial future is secure. You probably know Paul from his over 20 years as the host of the Investor Coaching Show. We run it every Saturday here on WTN from 3 to 6. It's a great show, but you may not know that he didn't even start the show until after he spent time studying under an economist who went on to win a Nobel Prize. That's how Paul got his feet wet in the industry. That's where he learned so much. That's pretty cool. And he's also an avid collector of financial planning designations. He has up to 8 now. So, of course, my wife and I work with Paul. We were excited to get in here and work with Paul. We heard him on WTN before I got my show here. And when I came on board, it was an easy choice. We wanted to work with Paul. And here's why. Paul's team hold themselves to the highest level of fiduciary status. As such, Paul wants to make sure that I hit you with transparency and honesty and tell you that I get paid when I do these commercials. I love that he wants to step things off on the right foot with you. Where else do you hear that, honestly? And I like that Paul's team does nothing on commission. They'll educate you along the way so you never get that uneasy feeling of blind trust. The education is actually what they focus on the most. And me and my wife have learned so much working with Paul. You can learn too. Before I started working with Paul, I was essentially financially illiterate. I didn't really know what to do, how to do it. Paul has made that so clear. And it starts by taking a look at your whole financial picture. Yours is going to be unique to you, just like mine is unique to me. And after they look at your whole financial picture, then they'll help you make decisions. But it starts by setting up a 15-minute phone call. That's all it takes. The 15-minute phone call might stretch. I mean, I had a 15-minute phone conversation with Paul that stretched into an hour conversation because Paul is a wealth of knowledge. But set up your phone call today. Go to paulwinkler.com. That's paulwinkler.com.
10 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, timing out what could be more rain, possibly storms the rest of the week during the full forecast coming up in 2 minutes. Got a lot of breaking news right now. We have the latest report on inflation. Also, it looks like the first Biden-Trump debate will be June 27th, hosted by CNN. This according to The Hill. Now we need to go to Tom Rivers on an assassination attempt on Slovakia's prime minister.
Robert Fico, the country's populist leader, has been wounded and taken to the hospital. Reports on TA3, a Slovakian TV station, say the 59-year-old was hit in the stomach after 4 shots were fired outside the House of Culture in the town of Handlova, some 90 miles northeast of the capital, where he was meeting with supporters. A suspect has been detained.
Back to your money. A new economic report shows prices are decreasing, but still stubbornly high.
The Consumer Price Index measuring inflation shows prices 3.4% higher in April compared to a year ago. That's just slightly lower than last month's reading of 3.5%. Rent, gas, energy, and dining out all cost more. Moody's Analytics reports Americans are spending $218 more a month compared to a year ago, $527 more than 2 years ago, and $1,015 more than 3 years ago overall. But incomes are also up.
Well, this report shows that on a 12-month basis, income is up just 0.5%. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
The guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. It's really simple. We bring you an all-cash offer. You close in as little as 21 days. No home inspections, no lockboxes, no open houses. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer and start packing.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt Murphy for Members Nutrition. I want to tell you about the Members Nutrition difference, and I want to encourage you to go over to the Members Nutrition website. Number one, they believe at Members Nutrition that they can sell vitamins and supplements at a lower cost point, and they're doing it every single day at membersnutrition.com. Number two, they want to make these products right here in the United States of America, not from some overseas company, and they do that every single day. I encourage you to go to membersnutrition.com. You'll get 50% off your purchase price at checkout. You don't have to put in any codes. Just go to membersnutrition.com. Once again, membersnutrition.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I am so glad that California Closets has fixed my closet catastrophe. After exact measuring and planning, they came over and got to work. Yeah, once it was all plotted out on their 3D CAD system, the pieces are measured, cut, and precisely installed into my space. It was clean, fast, and professional, and above all, my new closets look and function great. Now, this was my dormer, and now this is my new dormer thanks to California Closets. Look at all of this added space for shirts and shoes, you name it, and it is cut so precisely, simply amazing. And my old closet that has now been reborn as the ultimate in style and functionability, making the best use of the space that I had. They can work on just about anything: bedrooms, garages, home offices, closets, pantries, and so much more. Find them online, CaliforniaClosets.com, and see what they can do for you. You can schedule a free design consultation. Mention my name, CaliforniaClosets.com.
.05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I was just telling Mac off air. It's like I'll give out my Twitter every day at Chris Hand on air, at least a couple times, right? And I'll get one person follow, 2 people follow. But when I say I need you guys to help me mess with a Democrat, boy, do you guys show out. So Heidi Campbell wished herself a happy birthday on Twitter, and I felt like it was so cringe. So I asked you guys to go like my post telling her that it was cringe. So we got more likes than her own
post, the original post.
I mean, we're doing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're like doubling her right now, right?
We got 89 likes on my post, and on her original post, she's at 52. So, I mean, those are rookie numbers. We can do better.
I feel like she's doing the same thing right now.
You think she's like calling friends?
She's like, guys.
Here's the thing that's crazy, right? Heidi Campbell has like 17,000 followers.
Yep.
I mean, of course, we're dealing with Russian bots here, but I only have like 2,000 followers.
Dang.
So this is the power of the WTN audience. And I think I was just like, it's so funny because it's like, hey, you guys want to help me mess with a Democrat? And everybody's like, yup, let's go. So thank you. At Chris Hand on Air if you want to help wish happy birthday to Heidi Campbell. I appreciate you guys. We do have some news to get to. Listen, I guess it's news. Robert De Niro was on The View. Robert De Niro, you know him.
Yeah, I heard of him.
You've heard of him? I guess he's okay. He shows up and he calls Trump Hitler, and he essentially gets a standing ovation. A standing ovation for the act of disliking Trump.
Because you've been pretty open about your dislike for Mr. Trump and the danger he poses to democracy. You once famously said you'd like to punch him in the face. But right now, he's leading in the polls in 5 battleground states. Any advice to the Biden campaign or the voters? What are you thinking?
What advice should he give them? Like maybe do work. You know? Maybe retire. Stop. Here's a good one. Stop going on vacation. All would be reasonable answers, no?
Well, I think I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people seriously. I think Hitler, Mussolini, but they're fools and clowns. Well, and I hear it. There's some people. I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do?
So he's asked what advice would he give Joe Biden. His answer is Trump is Hitler. And he closes with, who doesn't think this guy is going to do what he says he's going to do? Well, you know, to be perfectly fair, I think Trump is going to do what he says he's going to do. I think that we're going to get a mass deportation project if he's reelected. I think that we're going to get a booming economy again if he's elected. See, I actually listen to what Trump says, not the media narratives and the hoaxes like the bloodbath or the dictator. I listen to the whole thing in context, not just the clips that the Biden campaign team heavily edits and then repeats ad nauseum. I don't believe the hoaxes like De Niro believes. But he continues on what he thinks will happen if Trump gets elected.
If he gets elected, it's going to change this country for everybody. And they might think that it's going to make their life better. Or they just want to, excuse my French, they just want to with the rest of the country. Literally. Those people who support him with anger and hate, because that's what he's about, they're going to see. I mean, I used to see these things. I didn't understand how he and Rosie O'Donnell used to get it. Didn't really care. Yeah. I see what a hateful, mean-spirited, awful thing he is.
He's so mean. Do you guys know how mean Trump is? Can you believe that big meanie didn't start any new wars when he was president? Can you believe the record low unemployment numbers when he was president? Can you believe that big meanie had us energy independent? We can't keep letting him get away with this.
He was vicious to her.
He's vicious. And why will he not do that in this country? He's already done it.
Oh.
Yeah. Why would he not do? When I say I want to punch him in the face, it's because what he said to a person, a bystander or somebody in one of his rallies, he wants to punch him in the face. You don't talk that way to people. What kind of person does that?
I said I want to punch him in the face because he said he wanted to punch somebody in the face. Who says that? You don't talk to people that way. I'm going to punch him in the face. This is Democrat logic. But wait, there's more. I feel like the ShamWow guy. But wait, there's more. De Niro says Trump wants to F with us.
Wake up.
He's done everything. What more do you need? It's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country to with us. His slogan should be America. I want to America.
I think that's actually Biden's slogan. He's doing it. He's doing it. Whoopi also continues the lies and the hoaxes. She says if Trump becomes president, he's going to be president for life. And it's like, all right, I'm already voting for the guy. Like you don't have to sell me on him. But here's the thing that's so crazy about this. I'll play the clip in a second. It's like he left office, right? Did he stay in the Oval Office? No, he left. So I just don't. That argument has no logic to it.
If he becomes president again, he's never listen. He's not going to not stop being president. You understand this? Yeah. His idea is to stay in until he drops dead.
I think that would, if Biden's reelected, that would be the outcome as well, right?
That's it. He's not even conceding it now. So imagine if he actually did win the election.
Yeah.
He's not even conceding it now. As Hillary, I know she conceded to Trump on a phone call, but then she said it was Russia that hacked the election. It was Russia's fault. Remember that?
It's over. Yeah. We're going to have such civil strife. We're going to have all the things he says because everybody's now on to him where he projects what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's what he wants, what he envisions the world to be, which is chaos and craziness, total craziness.
Oh, Trump wants the world to be chaos and craziness. Again, under Trump, economy's booming, no new wars, energy independence. The embassy gets moved to Jerusalem in Israel. He wants chaos. Okay. Under Biden, rampant inflation, wide open southern border. 2 new wars. How do they rationalize this? Trump wants chaos. It will be chaos under Trump. What do they think the last 3 years have been under Joe Biden? Honestly. Luckily, the American people see what's going on. A Trump pollster said now Virginia and Minnesota are in play. Virginia and Minnesota. I understand Virginia. I totally get that. I mean, they just elected Glenn Youngkin not too long ago. I feel like Virginia's been in play for a while. But Trump pollster John McLaughlin, CEO and partner of McLaughlin Associates, told Breitbart News Daily during an interview yesterday that Trump is ahead in the national popular vote. That explains a lot of data. And he says that there's eligible voters, probably 100 million, who don't vote. They had a record turnout last time, 160 million. That was up from 139 in 2016. And he explains that Trump is also ahead in battleground states. The Trump campaign, he continued, released top-line numbers for polls taken in Minnesota and Virginia, and he says it shows something extraordinary. Minnesota, they had Trump at 40%, Biden at 40%, Kennedy at 9%. In Virginia, Biden at 40%, Trump at 37%, Kennedy at 8%. Virginia and Minnesota are in play. And again, I go back to what Fareed Zakaria said on CNN. The polls are never going to overestimate for Trump. They just won't. They'll underestimate. He also cited an Emerson College poll analyzing New Jersey. And he said that survey showed Trump within 5 points. That poll, he added, was taken before the massive rally in New Jersey, which attracted, around 100,000 people. He said they had Biden at 44, Trump at 39. In a state that they lost in 2020 by 16 points. And if you go back to April and you look in New York, the Siena poll, they had them within 10 points. And they lost 61-38 in 2020. Now within 10? He says something's going on where we know that the court case and the political persecution of Donald Trump is backfiring. I think we all know it's backfiring. It's backfiring big time. And in the meantime, we see the result of Bidenomics. Just yesterday, news came out that 100 Red Lobster locations around the U.S. have closed. 100 of them. This is Bidenomics in action. When people can't afford things, they stop going out to eat. 100 restaurants. I mean, how many people work at a restaurant? I know somebody on the Members Nutrition text line knows, because we got a lot of people that do different jobs that listen. How many average people work at a restaurant? I mean, it's got to be what, 40 to 50 at your average restaurant. So if 100 close, that's thousands of jobs lost in a day. In a day. But the Dems, they try to distract from this horrific polling, from the horrific results of Bidenomics. Biden advisors are downplaying the negative polling despite all the warnings. His advisors are saying, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They say, don't believe the negative surveys. They say Biden doesn't believe the negative surveys. Many of his advisors don't believe the surveys. They say they're inaccurate, according to people familiar with Joe's thinking. This is from Axios, which I also think it's hilarious that they say people familiar with Joe's thinking. What could Joe's thinking be? But they say that the bedrock belief has informed Biden's largely steady as she goes campaign, even as many Democrats outside the White House are agitating for the campaign to change direction, given that Biden is polling well behind where he was 4 years ago. Biden has disregarded the repeated warnings and even accused allies of allegedly not reporting the positive national polls, such as a recent PBS poll. They say, while the press doesn't write about it, the momentum is clearly in our favor. Do you think the momentum is clearly in Joe Biden's favor? Clearly. That's what the Biden camp says. I mean, but you look at it. Nevada, Trump is up 13. Georgia, Trump is up 9. This is according to a New York Times poll. And the New York Times carries water for the Democrat Party. Nevada up 13. Georgia up 9. Arizona up 6. Pennsylvania, Trump's up 3. Wisconsin, Trump is up 1. 7 states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, those are going to decide the president. And longtime Democrat advisor Doug Sosnick wrote in the New York Times, if Trump wins one or more of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, Biden's chances of getting 270 electoral votes become slim. Slim. If Biden wins all the blue wall states, in essence, he's going to win re-election. He doesn't have to win any of the Sun Belt states if he wins all the blue wall states. But if he loses all 4 competitive Sun Belt states, Biden can't lose any blue wall states. That's Stephen Shepard, who's Politico's senior campaign and election editor-in-chief polling analyst. He wrote that. He said, given the size of Michigan and Pennsylvania, it is going to be difficult for Biden to cobble together any electoral college majority without them, even if he manages to hold on to Arizona and Nevada. Another Biden campaign pollster, Molly Murphy, she's pushing back on the campaign's failure to heed the warnings. She says this campaign is not arguing for the status quo. The most important piece is acknowledging that people are still feeling frustrated and behind, and that the problems and the struggles that people are facing were not caused by this president, and in fact have been alleviated by Biden. What do you think? Who do you think caused the problems in this country? It's been 3 years. Are we still blaming the orange man? Is the Biden administration going to take any accountability for what they've caused in this country? They won't. They never take accountability. They deflect, and they try and change the narrative. But we can all see what's really going on. All you have to do is go grocery shopping. Biden continues to repeat the lie that inflation was at 9% when he took office. In fact, he's repeated this lie twice now in less than a week. He did it again yesterday. It's amazing.
Inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came in.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Even ABC debunked the lie that inflation was at 9% when he came in. But all that they can do is continue to scream orange man bad. And he says, listen, we got a plan to fix it. We're just gonna stay steady.
We got to be steady, stay the course, and continue to produce these incredible jobs. And by the way, the pay for the jobs are outpacing the inflation rate they're paying.
It's so funny that he said that because literally a little while ago I played the clip about Gen Z voters saying they're not making enough money. They're not making as much money as millennial voters at that age. But Biden will get out there and say, listen, the wages, they're outpacing inflation.
Pay for the jobs are outpacing the inflation rate they're paying. We're going to be able to deal with this. It's going to take a little more time, but we're just focused on it.
Oh, we can deal with this. Sure. It'll take some time. But we can deal with this. How much time does Joe Biden need? Better question, how much time does he have left? Hopefully, not long. Hopefully, we see a changing of the guard come November. It's 10:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right. The first debate between President Biden and former President Trump in this election cycle has been set. We'll tell you when and on what channel. A new readout on the inflation rate shows prices up 3.4% in April. And Slovakia's prime minister, there's been an attempt on his life. Details at 10:30 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. I'm looking forward to the details on the debate. I've seen them myself. We'll talk about that after Ken's newscast. I do want to point out we are crushing Heidi Campbell in the like department. I said to Mac, why did she post that? I didn't want my show to be about this. We're at 110 to 61. She wished herself a happy birthday on Twitter. So I said that was the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
And now you've ratioed her.
We've ratioed her. So my tweet has 110 likes. Hers now has 61.
Almost double.
I don't know. She probably doesn't even understand that I'm doing this, right?
No.
She probably doesn't listen to our station. But I want to mentally picture her frantically calling friends. Hey, gotta help me
Making
out.
fake accounts.
Let me get hire some Russian bots quick. If you want to contribute to that.
Yeah, you didn't want to do this, but
I didn't want my show to be about this.
You had to.
I had to. At Chris Hand on Air, if you want to join the like storm, me calling Heidi Campbell saying happy birthday to yourself cringy. Oh, it's starting again. Every time I say this, the phone starts buzzing.
Love it.
I'll give up my Twitter. Nobody responds. I get, one
Follow
person.
me. Yeah, crickets.
But when I say we need to mess with a Democrat on her birthday, everybody's like, sign me up.
Where, man?
Also, earlier we were talking about sources familiar with Joe Biden's thinking. And it made me laugh because, Joe Biden thinking, right? And I got a great text from 5581. Said, Chris, it's easy to be familiar with Biden thinking when you're the one who tells him what he's thinking. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. All right, so there's a couple other stories I do want to get to. Charlemagne is saying he's not going to endorse Joe Biden. A lot of celebrities have been coming out saying that they're not going to do that. I mentioned on the Gang of Amigos, I don't think he's doing that because he doesn't really believe in Joe Biden. I think it's because he looks dumb after endorsing him in 2020. There's another guy who's no longer endorsing Biden, a man with one of the worst cases of Trump derangement syndrome I've ever seen, Michael Rappaport. He went on Twitter and he very verbally unendorsed Joe Biden.
Smoking Joe Biden. Cadaver Joe Biden. You know who I am. You know my work.
All these people and their egos. Cadaver Joe, you know who I am.
I'm the one who came up with, I'm the one who invented stain Donald Trump. Pig Donald Trump. That's me. That's my work. I didn't ask for a thank you. I didn't ask for an invite to the White House, and everybody and anybody shows up at the White House these days. I did it for the love.
Who loves Michael Rappaport? Anybody? Anybody? He's so salty.
I did it for the love because I couldn't stand that and you dumb old you have the you bat old you. You're not sending weapons to Israel during a war while American hostages and hostages from 22 countries are still in that You're not sending weapons now, you dumb Let me tell you something. I never, ever, ever thought I would say this, okay? But I could promise you this right now. Smoking Joe Biden, Cadaver Joe Biden, me, Michael Rappaport, I'm not voting for you. You're not getting my vote. And plenty of us also ain't voting for you, you. I said it once, and I'll say it again. This is why voting for stain Donald Trump, pig Donald Trump, is on the table.
Voting for Trump is on the table. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Timing out the potential for more rain, possible storms the rest of the week during the full forecast in 2 minutes. Election 2024 reports say President Biden and former President Trump have agreed to debate. The first one will be June 27th on CNN. President Biden requested they not be hosted by the nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates, which has been tradition since 1988. Instead, Biden wanted certain media outlets to run the debates, and CNN reportedly is the first. We see reports that Biden also wants ABC, Telemundo, and CBS organized debates. A new readout on the inflation rate shows prices rose 3.4% in April. That's for housing and dining, still high. As for wages, the April jobs report showed wages increased year over year by 3.9%. That's 0.5% faster than the rate of inflation. Slovakia's prime minister has been shot. Robert Fico said to be in a life-threatening condition. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 10:35 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. You can find me on Twitter, True Social, Instagram, at Chris Hand on Air. You can listen to us wherever you go with the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or you can watch us on Super Talk TV, which is on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all the things. We have so many things. And if you missed some of the show, we got the podcast element.
Oh, yeah.
Apple and Spotify. So share the show with your friends. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all the things. All the things. But I think that so often we're distracted from the biggest issue happening in the country right now, and we're distracted with things like, oh, the Trump and Biden are going to debate. We're distracted with that. We're distracted by Heidi Campbell wishing herself a happy birthday. We're distracted by all these things, but the border remains an issue, a massive issue. I saw a story just yesterday. Disgusting. New Mexico prosecutors. Illegal aliens gang raped a deaf woman in a multi-hour nightmare. 3 illegal aliens from Guatemala have pled guilty or been convicted of gang raping a deaf woman after kidnapping her in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's awful. Awful. We see these stories so often, and if the mainstream media would actually report on them, the American public would be irate. Irate. What happened to our country? What happened to our southern border? It has gotten so much worse under Joe Biden. And for every story you see, there's another one right behind it. But you have to look because nobody in the mainstream media, which is controlled by the left, is going to point it out to you. How about this one? An illegal alien murders a woman in West Virginia and then attacks 2 homeless people. This illegal alien is accused of murdering a 33-year-old woman in Berkeley County, West Virginia, after allegedly attacking 2 homeless people with baseball bats and leaving them seriously injured in Jefferson County, West Virginia. That's not even a border state. Like, every state is a border state now. Every community is a border community because of Joe Biden. This happened on May 6th. It was a 46-year-old illegal alien from El Salvador. He's been booked in Frederick County, Virginia, after having a warrant out for his arrest from West Virginia for allegedly murdering that woman sometime earlier this month. It's disgusting. How about this one? I mean, literally, I could spend all day doing this, and it's so sad because so many people are being affected by this, but nobody wants to talk about it in the mainstream media. How about this one? Reported illegal alien charged in death of 3-month-old. 3 months old. Was previously deported under Donald Trump. An illegal alien charged in connection with the death of a 3-month-old had been deported under former President Donald Trump, a report details. A 3-month-old. This 26-year-old illegal alien from Mexico was arrested and charged mid-April with causing serious injury to a 3-month-old after the child was admitted to the hospital with severe injuries. Breitbart News reported the baby ultimately died from its injuries on April 21st. In addition to being connected to the child's death, Enriquez is accused of strangling the baby's mother as well. An ICE official told Fox News Digital that Enriquez was deported from the United States in late 2020 under Trump. According to the ICE official, agents encountered Enriquez in March of 2020 after he was arrested and booked in Harris County, Texas for criminal trespassing. A detainer was placed on him. He was turned over to ICE at the end of that April in 2020, and he was deported. He was deported, returned to Mexico. But after being deported, well, with Joe Biden's wide open border, he came back. And he resettled in Montgomery County, Texas, where he killed a 3-month-old baby, allegedly. Innocent until proven guilty, but these stories are vicious. And we hear so many of them. So many of them. I can keep going on. Do you want to do more? How about schools? How about the impact on our kids? In Massachusetts, there's a school district in Peabody, which is 6 schools, right? I did a little research. There's 6 schools in this school district. Do you know how many illegal alien students they've had? 2,000.
New this morning, there are 2,000 migrant students in our local schools right now in 74 different districts.
And that is creating a huge challenge for not only those communities, but the state. I sat down with the Secretary of Education to see how the state is helping with this growing issue.
Inside the classrooms in Peabody and 73 other districts sheltering migrant families, the work is challenging. Blending international students is definitely not easy, but not everyone has to.
We've been talking to the state, enough is enough.
Peabody Superintendent Josh Vidala is on the front lines of the problem. They received 80 new students since September.
We've taken on our share and we're doing a good job. If you continue to pile on, we're worried that we're not going to be able to provide the same service, and then it all falls apart.
It all falls apart. I feel like it's already falling apart. This is in liberal Massachusetts, though. I'm very familiar with that state. That they can't see the forest through the trees. It's already falling apart, sir. Adam in Fairview wants to talk about the border. What's up, Adam?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for taking my call. Talking about every state's a border state. I get that the Biden administration is not enforcing, the rules of the land, illegal immigrants, coming in, legitimately and legally. But then he takes and flies in all these illegal immigrants by the hundreds into these states. Is there not anything or anyone that can step up to the Biden administration and say, this is unlawful, this is treasonous, you use taxpayer dollars to commit a crime? Where is accountability? I mean, we talk about it all the time, but there seems to be just a one-sided term of justice for this. He weaponizes the DOJ.
Where are the Republicans?
Where is anyone? Where is anyone? I mean, forget if you're a Republican or a Democrat or a liberal, whatever it may be. Why can't one person find a legal statute that says this is unlawful, it's criminal? If I rob a bank, you can bet that the DOJ in the United States and federal government is going to come after me, but why can they pick and choose which laws they're going to obey and which laws they're going to break?
Well, because
use taxpayer dollars to do it.
Because they're welcoming this. This is part of the plan. They want the newcomers here. They want them counted in the census so that way they can have more seats for representation in Congress. They want them to come in. This is the plan.
Well, and I agree that I believe that that's the plan on the left, is to do that, to create a whole new voting base, because they've already ruined their own standing with their own party, so they're trying to create a new base. But even at that, it's just still it's wrong. I mean, there's got to be something someone somewhere can do to try to stop some of this madness.
Yeah,
destroying it.
But they don't, Adam, and I appreciate your call, man. All they do, these elected officials, is they try to put Band-Aids on the situation constantly. In Massachusetts, they have all these illegal aliens coming into their schools, coming into their communities. Well, how can we stop this? Well, they're not going to force them out. No, they're going to put Band-Aids on the situation. They have a new plan. There's an old prison that they're repurposing into as they put it, a migrant shelter, which I guess is a little bit better than what they did in New York when they took kids out of school for the illegal aliens and let them stay there. But this is what they're doing. Well, we'll find space for them.
Officials in the town of Norfolk are scrambling to figure out how to deal with a sudden surge and influx in migrants. The town just learned that the state will transform the former prison on the Norfolk Walpole line into an emergency shelter for migrant and homeless families. Town leaders are waiting to learn how many children they'll need to accommodate in their school district. Governor Mauree Healey says the old Bay State Correctional Center will be able to house 140 families or up to 450 people. Many of them are migrants who've been sleeping at Logan Airport. Parents in Norfolk are worried about overcrowding.
So many kids now, and then this on top of it, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. Is that not the understatement of the year? It's going to be tough. Let's check in with a neighbor state to Massachusetts, just up the street, New York. Let's see how they're dealing with the migrants, as they put it, coming in. It's It's not good. And in fact, they've found violent migrant gangs becoming more and more of an issue.
You have a wave of violent migrant gangs coming here. These people are from a whole nother country, and they're on a whole nother level. So now they're rivaling the inner city gangs that you've known about for years, and now comes a whole new wave coming in. They have no rules. They really don't care about the rule book because they're from another country and they don't care if they get caught or they don't get caught.
Yeah, the Massachusetts dad says it's going to be tough. The superintendent says if we get any more, it's all going to fall apart. No, guys, it's already fallen apart. It's already tough. And what we're descending into looks like it could be anarchy. I just saw another report. 2 foreign nationals reportedly attempted to breach Marine Corps base in Virginia, Quantico. 2 foreign nationals, they pretended to be Amazon workers in an attempt to breach the Quantico Marine Corps base in Virginia, 36 miles away from D.C. The 2 men reportedly drove a box truck up to the base's main gate and informed the guards that they were with Amazon and were making a delivery to the post office in the town of Quantico, which is located on the base. Nothing's going to be done about this? Military police officers informed the men that they should move over to a holding area after the guards realized that they had no affiliation with the base, and when they did not provide the guards with any approved access credentials to get on the base. So they directed them to a holding area. The military police became aware that the driver was essentially ignoring the direct instructions of the officers and attempted to drive past the holding area onto the base. One of the military police officers noticed a driver ignoring those instructions, driving past the holding area and attempting to access Quantico. After realizing the driver ignored the directions, military police officers used vehicle denial barriers or roadblocks, which are used to keep cars off the base. And then they prevented the 2 men from gaining further access to the base. The men were detained and turned over to ICE, Curtis confirmed to the outlet. The multiple reports of the individuals inside the truck is a Jordanian foreign national who recently crossed the southern border into the U.S. And that one of the occupants is on the U.S. terrorist watch list. Quantico did not confirm this information. So you have a Jordanian foreign national and an individual on the U.S. terror watch list coming across the southern border and trying to access our military bases. It's like every step of the way, this is bad. You have violence against children. You have violence against women. You have kids not being able to learn in school because it's being flooded with illegal aliens. You have towns being flooded with illegal aliens. You have military bases attempting to be infiltrated by illegal aliens that are on terror watch lists. And the elected officials in our country do nothing. Nothing. It's insane. But nothing gets done. The Republicans don't seem to do anything about it. The Democrats welcome it. Newcomers, they say. And you know, people like Robert De Niro go on The View and they say if Trump gets elected, there's going to be chaos. This sounds like chaos to me. It sounds like we're in the middle of chaos because of our wide open southern border. And Democrat officials, man, they like to pass the buck and play the blame game. The mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, he said, how can we deal with this? This is Texas's fault. We're not equipped to deal with this.
The governor of Texas is determined to create chaos. We have brought calm, structure to a very volatile situation. But again, this is unprecedented. Unprecedented. Never in the history of America where a local government has been asked to build a resettlement for migrants. But yet here we are.
The federal government's failed us. I think Mayor Brandon Johnson is kind of waking up to that reality, huh? And his constituents are just absolutely irate with him in Chicago. Mayor Eric Adams in New York, well, he's got a different idea. And I think he's going to get called out for racism on this one. He wants to get the illegal aliens jobs, from jobs that would normally go to American citizens. He says we got a lifeguard shortage and illegal aliens are great swimmers. This is literally what he said.
Those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard.
Is that not one of the most racist things that you can hear? But the Dems won't call that out. The Dems want to help the newcomers, not American citizens. They want to help newcomers. It's 10:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The first two presidential debates of 2024 are set. A new readout on inflation, an assassination attempt of a foreign leader coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. It is 10:58 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm reading this press release from CNN about one of the debates.
Yeah? What's it say?
It'll be held in the CNN Atlanta studios with no audience. I don't like that. I don't like that. Now you'll probably get you'll get a cleaner debate. I would imagine, right?
Maybe.
But like, put it in Madison Square Garden, sell tickets, sell tickets, guys. Listen, hear me out. Sell tickets, and have it benefit veterans. How many people does Madison Square Garden hold? Because fact check it for me, Matt. Come on, man.
Yeah, look at it right quick, brother.
Real quick.
We can put it in Nissan Stadium. That's about 60,000.
I guarantee you could sell a nosebleed for $1,000.
Right under 20,000.
So if they were $1,000 tickets and everything went to benefit veterans, come on. That's a win-win. Who says no? Well, CNN, clearly. They want it in their Atlanta studios to ensure the candidates may maximize the time allotted in the debate.
That's what it is.
So no audience will be present. Moderators for the debate and additional details will be announced at a later date.
That's where the devil is.
Yep, it's always in the details. How much money you want to bet? It's the lady on CNN that doesn't have any lips. That's what the smart money's on. It's 11 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are tracking the potential for more rain, possible storms the rest of this week. Tell you about it during the full forecast in 2 minutes. Election 2024, President Biden and former President Trump have accepted an invitation from CNN to debate on June 27th and on ABC on September 10th. Biden issued the challenge in a 14-second video to social media this morning, but he wants the debates on his terms, meaning he wants only certain media outlets to organize them instead of what has been tradition dating back to the 1980s.
The Nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates has hosted every fall face-off between the major party candidates since Bush and Dukakis debated in 1988. That's 9 cycles of American presidential elections. But now the Biden campaign says that model produces noisy spectacles. And rather than 3 debates before audiences, Biden wants just 2, held in otherwise empty TV studios. For his part, Donald Trump tells Fox News he accepts Biden's challenge.
Now, the other news outlets Biden is willing to debate on, Telemundo and CBS, according to reports we are seeing. A new readout on the inflation rate shows prices rose 3.4% in April. Elizabeth Schulze telling us.
Rent still going up. Restaurants, eating out, still a lot more expensive on a monthly basis. So this is really a report that shows that, okay, maybe we're heading in the right direction, but still a little ways to go when it comes to the cost that so many families are bearing right now.
So at the same time that inflation was up in April, 3.4%, wages were up 3.9%. That's just 0.5% higher. Assassination attempt on Slovakia's prime minister. Tom Rivers reports from London.
Shocked reaction from locals to the shooting. Robert Fico hit in the stomach and quickly moved to a local hospital. The suspected shooter wrestled to the ground and arrested. Some 90 miles away in the capital, Bratislava, the deputy speaker has suspended parliament indefinitely. The shooting comes 3 weeks ahead of crucial European elections in which populist and hard-right parties in the EU bloc appear poised to make gains.
That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I am so glad that California Closets has fixed my closet catastrophe. After exact measuring and planning, they came over and got to work. Yeah, once it was all plotted out on their 3D CAD system, the pieces are measured, cut, and precisely installed into my space. It was clean, fast, and professional, and above all, my new closets look and function great. Now, this was my dormer, and now this is my new dormer thanks to California Closets. Look at all of this added space for shirts and shoes, you name it, and it is cut so precisely, simply amazing. And my old closet that has now been reborn as the ultimate in style and functionability, making the best use of the space that I had. They can work on just about anything: bedrooms, garages, home offices, closets, pantries, and so much more. Find them online, CaliforniaClosets.com, and see what they can do for you. You can schedule a free design consultation. Mention my name, CaliforniaClosets.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt Murphy for Members Nutrition. I want to tell you about the Members Nutrition difference, and I want to encourage you to go over to the Members Nutrition website. Number one, they believe at Members Nutrition that they can sell vitamins and supplements at a lower cost point, and they're doing it every single day at membersnutrition.com. Number two, they want to make these products right here in the United States of America, not from some overseas company, and they do that every single day. I encourage you to go to membersnutrition.com. You'll get 50% off your purchase price at checkout. You don't have to put in any codes. Just go to membersnutrition.com. Once again, membersnutrition.com.
The guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. It's really simple. We bring you an all-cash offer. You close in as little as 21 days. No home inspections, no lockboxes, no open houses. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer and start packing.
Two debates. Two things at once. I love that. All right, so June 27th. Okay. And we also have...
Donald Trump lost two debates to me in 20...
Sorry, I didn't mean to play that. All right, so Joe Biden going on Twitter 13 minutes ago saying, I've also received and accepted an invitation to a debate hosted by ABC on Tuesday, September 10th. Trump says he'll arrange his own transportation. I'll bring my plane too. I plan on keeping it there for another 4 years. So he's against, fighting climate change, apparently. And he also tweeted an hour ago, I've received an invitation and accepted from CNN for a debate on June 27th. Over to you, Donald. As you said, anytime, anywhere, any place. So Joe's team is pretty active on Twitter. 26 minutes ago on Truth Social. I think one of the best parts about this is that they're jarring at each other on separate social media platforms. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't Joe Biden on Truth Social?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is. Trump truthed. He posted on Truth Social. It is my great honor to accept the CNN debate against crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, a true threat to democracy, on June 27th. Likewise, I accept the ABC News debate against crooked Joe on September 10th. Thank you, DJT. So those dates are set. June 27th, September 10th. Woo! Are you excited?
This will be great, man.
I'm hype. Woo! I'm hype. So we got a little over a month.
Yes.
We got the first debates.
Yes.
Okay, so when you looked at the original schedule, it was all going to be in the fall, right? All three were going to be in the fall.
Yeah.
So we lost one, which is a darn shame. But we get one quite a bit sooner. The first one, CNN, June 27th. Again, the press release from CNN saying CNN will host an election debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump June 27th, 2024, 9 p.m. Eastern from the crucial battleground state of Georgia. The debate will be held in CNN's Atlanta studios to ensure candidates may maximize the time allotted in the debate. No audience will be present. Moderators for the debate and additional details will be announced at a later date. To qualify for participation, candidates must fulfill the requirements outlined in Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution of the United States. File a statement of candidacy with the Federal Election Commission. The candidate's name must appear on a sufficient number of state ballots to reach the 270 electoral vote threshold to win the presidency prior to the eligibility deadline. Agree to accept the rules and format of the debate and receive at least 15% in 4 separate national polls of registered or likely voters that meet CNN standards for reporting. Polls that meet CNN editorial standard will be considered qualifying polls, included those sponsored by CNN, ABC, CBS, Fox News, Marquette University Law School, Monmouth University, NBC News, the New York Times, Siena College, NPR, PBS NewsHour, Marist College, Quinnipiac University, the Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post. So I guess, I think after reading this, the one thing that I'm looking at is you have to receive at least 15% in 4 separate national polls in order to get into the CNN debate. Is RFK Jr. looking at this thinking, I got to get up to 15% now? Right? He's going to be on a sufficient number of state ballots. Is RFK Jr. saying anything about this? I'm going to check his Twitter right now. Because to me, I have to wonder if RFK is like, hey, I got to get in on this. I'm pulling up his Twitter. Robert. Where is he? There he is. Let's see if he said anything about the debates. 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago, Kennedy chimed in. President Trump and Biden are colluding to lock America into a head-to-head matchup that 70% say they do not want. They're trying to exclude me from their debate because they are afraid I would win. Keeping viable candidates off the debate stage undermines democracy. 43% of Americans identify as independents. If Americans are ever going to escape the hammerlock of the two-party system, now is the time to do it. These are the 2 most unpopular candidates in living memory. By excluding me from the stage, Biden and Trump seek to avoid discussion of their 8 years of mutual failure, including deficits, wars, lockdowns, chronic disease, and inflation. That's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s statement on this. I would imagine he's going to be trying to get on this debate stage.
He should be. He should be allowed on.
Do you think that he has a chance of getting there?
Of getting on the debate stage? I don't know. He should be allowed on, though.
I think RFK would actually be fun on the debate stage with those 2.
Yeah.
I think it would quickly turn into Trump versus RFK.
Yeah, that definitely could be, yeah.
Quickly.
But I think as far as the democracy point, is actually, I think that holds some water. Yeah.
I think it does too.
What are we doing? Come on. The dude's polling.
What's he at in the recent polls?
And I only think 5 states have accepted him on the ballot so far, but
I thought he got on a bunch more because he had a vice presidential pick.
Oh, okay.
And that was one of the things that he had to do.
That may be the case.
And the highest I think I've seen him at on the polls is like 8%.
Yeah.
So he's not. You're going to have to do something drastic to get up to 15%.
Well, shoot, a debate would help.
Well, fair.
You know what I mean?
But they're saying in the CNN statement, they're not going to let you on unless you're polling at 15%.
Yeah, that's trash.
Yeah, I think.
Then there will never be it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, third party is never going to happen in this country.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
Exactly.
It's fascinating. Calvin in Lebanon, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Calvin?
Hey, Chris. I know you're taking comments on the election or the whatever it is debate, so I'll start with that. Ain't it just like a bully? He's an influence peddler. This is supposed to be one bad guy. Remember, Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So here he is, this big bully, Joe Biden, pushing everyone around, who's finally met his match, which is Donald Trump. And he says, well, I'll fight you, but you can't have no one here, and I have everybody here. Everybody likes me and no one likes you. So that's just, that just shows that he's unconfident and he's everything the American people know that he is.
Yep.
But also I wanted to say about The View. I don't need Robert De Niro telling me anything about what I'm feeling in this economy.
Yep.
Hey, when you can go buy a jetliner today, and I'm proud for him. He went out and he made it, buddy, and I'm for him. But don't you tell me what an average individual that is pounding the pavement every day. I'm talking about school teachers. I'm talking about nurses. I'm talking about construction workers. I'm talking about fast food workers. We're the ones that knows what we're feeling.
Amen.
And as much as I respect the Dwayne Johnson, get in there, Rock, and put the smack down on someone and get out of my life. Give me your best performance.
Yep.
Do not tell me these Hollywoods need to stay where they're at.
Yep.
They have no inclination of what the average person is feeling in this economy that is pinching their pennies, and every time they step out the door, they're feeling it. So that's what I had to say.
I'm with you, Calvin. I appreciate your call, man. I think you're right on. These Hollywood elite don't know what we're feeling. Calvin said it best. If you can go buy a jetliner, you don't understand. What the average person is feeling. Honestly, let's go to Bill in Smyrna. Wants to talk about the debate. Bill, you're next on Super Talk.
Hey, as soon as I found out about the debates and I heard it was CNN on the first one and they get to pick the moderators, I heard in my own heart ambush. And I don't know why that Donald Trump didn't say, fine, we'll do CNN on the first one. We're going to do Fox on the second one, and I'll pick the moderators. But he fell right into it, and I think they're just going to load up and hit him with everything they've got to make him look bad and Joe look good. And I think this is a lose-lose situation for Donald Trump, and see what you think about that. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I appreciate your call, Bill. I mean, I don't think this could be a lose-lose situation for Trump. I mean, let's be honest. When you're looking at policy to policy, I think Trump is going to have to come in and be smooth, not get angry, let Biden talk, let Biden put his foot in his own mouth. But it's going to be an unfair fight. And I think we have to recognize that going in. ABC is not going to pick a conservative moderator. CNN is not going to pick a conservative moderator. I doubt that they're going to put Fareed Zakaria on as the moderator. We're probably going to get, at best, like Chris Wallace, right? Is he still working for CNN? I think they might have fired him already.
I'll fact check
that. He might have already been fired. But we're going to get an Aaron Burnett or a George Stephanopoulos as the moderators. Maybe is Lester Holtz NBC. Who else is at ABC? Isn't it bad, like the downfall of mainstream media? I don't even know who's on ABC anymore.
I don't think Chris Wallace is. Well, no, I mean, I think no, he is. He is.
Okay, so that would be the best we could get. And in 2020, we saw it was Chris Wallace and Biden versus Trump. I mean, who are you going to get from ABC? Anderson Cooper? Is Anderson Cooper going to be our guy for the moderator? David Murr? Who do they have that is actually going to be fair and down the middle? I don't think you're going to have a fair debate. But I think Trump is going to go in knowing that, right? And he's not going to be surprised. He's not going to be shocked. I think that now we're going to see a new Trump. This is going to be the third time he's done presidential debates. I think that he's going to be ready. I think that he has absolutely learned a few things over the years, and he's probably going to look at past debates and what he's done wrong and what he can do better. I truly think that he's going to come in and crush. Moderator be damned. But, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, though. I don't think so. I'm excited. June 27th and September 10th. A lot can happen between the first debate and the second debate as well. That's a huge window in between those two debates. You got 2 months and a couple weeks. And with Joe Biden and the way he's running this country, anything could happen in 2 months between the debates. Anything could happen between today and the next debate. Wild. All of this breaking today. June 27th, CNN. September 10th, ABC.
Kevin on the Members Nutrition Super Text line says WTN needs to host some watch parties.
Yo, so I talked with Murphy, and I mean, nothing's decided, but we want to do it live on the air. 100%. I think we need to. Who wouldn't want that? We can do it live on Super Talk TV. We can do it live on air. I think that covering this debate is going to be a moment that we don't want to miss. I'll talk to him when he gets in here. Me and Murphy literally had this conversation yesterday. But we were thinking it was going to be in the fall, and it was going to go with the original schedule. I wonder what's going to happen with a vice presidential debate, when they're going to do that. I bet you that lands in between these first two.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You know?
Yep.
End of July, early August.
Which means a Trump announcement could come in the next, 30 days.
Yep. It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
I love
it's a whirlwind, man.
I love this
picking
stuff.
Up.
I love this stuff. Do you love this stuff? I know you're entertained by politics. Like, are you excited about this? Mike in Lawrenceburg, are you excited about this?
Yeah, kind of, but I think he needs to make sure there's a running clock on the stage. That way they can't edit. I know there's a delay between live and whatever, but then make sure a running clock. That way they know they can't be edited out.
Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying. I don't think that's going to be an issue. You're going to have Trump surrogates in the room. You're going to have Trump campaign officials in the room. And if they were to do something like that, it's going to be called out in real time.
Yeah, I think there also needs to be at least a 3-hour or 4-hour debate because I don't think Biden can stand up that long.
Yeah. How long was the State of the Union address? It was like an hour and change, and he was definitely slowing down by the end of it. I want it to be at least longer than that.
I think about 3 hours.
I would sign up for 6. And as far as moderators go, I mean, can we get somebody down the middle? Can we get like a Joe Rogan or would you consider Joe Rogan down the middle? Who is? That's the thing that's so crazy. Could you actually find a moderator down the middle?
You'd want someone somewhat in politics, though. Rogan's like a commentator.
Yeah, but I think he would call people on their BS. I think he wouldn't have an issue calling Trump on something.
Yeah, he's socially liberal, I'd say.
So, but is there any, even if it wasn't on ABC, even if it wasn't on CNN, could we actually have a moderator that is down the middle? Is there anybody that could do that?
Yeah, that's tough. That actually is qualified, knows the points, knows the questions.
This country's so divided currently.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Who's the most middle moderator we could find?
I don't think you could find one. I don't think you could find one. So you're going to get somebody.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. Actually, that's pretty good.
That was Danny on the Members Nutrition Super Text line. I don't hate that.
No, I don't hate that either. Bill Maher. Steve said Tucker Carlson. Well, listen, you can say that. But Tucker would hold Trump's feet to the fire on things. I don't think Tucker would be scared to hold Trump accountable on something. You know what I mean? I think that's a big part too. Are you going to be intimidated by your preferred candidate? I think Rogan would be great. I do. Phil said Rogan would be perfect. He's a pothead. Nothing says middle like a pothead. Is that all you need to be considered in the middle these days?
That's it.
That's the qualifier?
All right, him and Snoop Dogg. Let's go.
All right, perfect. 11:22 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
New presidential debates are set. No audiences allowed. And the money news. The impact today's read on inflation's having on stocks coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All me and Mac have been doing during the commercial break is going back and forth about who we think would be a good moderator.
Yes.
Listen, I just want the most eyeballs on this. Like I said to Mac, I was like, what if it was Bill Maher, Rogan, and Tucker? Wouldn't that be awesome? And then you made the comment that's kind of a joke.
Yeah, it was just like, it's
what has this country become?
Yeah, come on, what are we doing?
Here's my thing.
This is not for entertainment to me.
I see.
This is our lives.
But I'm entertained by it.
That's the difference. You can be entertained, but the goal of this is not entertainment.
But that's fair. But if you get somebody that can bring more eyeballs to the debate, if they told me Taylor Swift would host it as a moderator, I'd be all in.
This is not American Idol.
This is true. But how many eyeballs can we get on this thing?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be an issue this time around.
What do we think that the viewership is going to be?
Yeah, I'll look up what it was last time.
I bet you it's doubled what we did last time. This could be the most watched presidential debate. It will be. But by how much, I think, is going to be the question. Jerry in Kingston Springs has a moderator suggestion. What's up, Jerry?
How you doing, buddy? Good show, as usual. Before I tell you who I would nominate, I would say the 5 worst. Yeah, Chris Matthews, number 1 worst media pundit in all history. Only second to only Geraldo Rivera, and then Juan Williams, and then Dana Perino in that order. I recommend Alex Jones. I would say Art Bell.
That'd be fun.
But Art Bell passed away, so he was good because on his show you couldn't tell what political position he held. He was so objective all the time. But Alex is so sharp with the history and the statistics and all the stuff that's going on. He would put them right in there. But they could pick whoever they want. Just let us have Alex Jones for one of the debates.
It would absolutely be fun. It would never happen.
It's fun to think about it, though.
Oh my gosh. I needed.
You saw what he did on the 5? Did you see what he did when he got on there about 6 years ago?
No.
He just tore them up. They kept trying to ambush him about that thing with Charlie Sheen because, he had some kind of media brouhaha, and they know that Alex is friends with Charlie Sheen, so they tried to ambush him, and he changed the subject right away over to serotonin reuptake inhibitors and how all these mass shooters are on psychotropic drugs and all that. Man, they went crazy. He kept plugging his website, and they went to commercial right away.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me. I appreciate the call, Jerry. I think that what we really need is an RFK supporter to be the moderator.
Bingo.
What about is Russell Brand is an RFK supporter, right?
Oh, I believe so. I believe so.
Find somebody that hates both of these guys. I think that's probably the better route to go than finding somebody that's down the middle and doesn't have a feeling either way. Let's find somebody that hates them both equally.
Yep.
I think that's probably the most fair route to take.
Yeah, you could find that.
I think we could find that.
You could find that.
I think that's going to be easier.
These are polarizing figures. You could find some people who hate both.
I think so.
I found the viewership.
Okay.
So in 2020, the debate had a total of at least 73.1 million viewers on television. That's the 3rd most watched debate. 2016 was the 2nd most watched debate. 84 million people watched Clinton and Trump. And the most watched debate ever, do you have a guess?
It's got to be Obama.
No, it's actually Ken, do you have a guess? The most watched presidential debate ever?
I do not.
1980, Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. The only debate between those two. So that was 80 million. So
they only had one debate?
So I guess that was the 2nd most because 80. So the most was Trump and Hillary Clinton. That was 84. So that was, they only had one debate in 1980.
That's interesting.
So we're beating 84 million. That's the number. 84 million.
Got to be, dude.
Right? Come on.
We're going to do 100 mil.
That's not even a third of the country.
No, they're going to dunk on that. We just got to find the right moderator.
Yep.
It's 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are timing out the potential for more rain and storms this week during the full forecast in 2 minutes. And election 2024, President Biden, former President Trump agreeing to 2 debates, one in June on CNN, the other on ABC in September. No audiences allowed. Meanwhile, independent Robert F. Kennedy Jr. releasing a statement on being omitted from the debates that reads, "They are trying to exclude me from their debate because they are afraid I would win. Keeping viable candidates off the debate stage undermines democracy." Midday News, Jim Ryan.
The Consumer Price Index shows prices rising 3.4% in April compared to a year ago. That's in line with expectations for inflation and lower than last month's reading of 3.5%. Most of the monthly increase came from rising housing and gas costs. Investors like what they see in those numbers. The Dow Jones headed into the midday 250 points higher from the opening. The S&P was up by 0.9%. The Nasdaq had gained 1%.
Jim Ryan there with the Midday Money News, and that's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thank you, Ken. Hey, it's Chris Hand for my friends at the Glock store. So I've been the new guy going to the Glock store and the Shoot 270 ranges for quite a while, but not anymore. Had my first session last Friday. It was incredible. I linked up with Kevin. He taught me so much. No lanes, no pains, just me, Kevin, in a private room. It was incredible. I honestly learned more about shooting in that 1 hour than I've learned in all of my lane range sessions put together. I can truthfully tell you that. And it was so cool. So have you experienced the Shoot 270 indoor ranges? I mean, they're only at the Glock store. If not, June 1st is going to be a great time to check it out because Saturday, June 1st, that's their open house, 4th annual. You've probably seen the billboards. I see them driving in. They're giving away thousands of dollars worth of great raffle prizes. And they have fascinating political and 2A supporting speakers. They're going to offer 2 of their most engaging shooting competitions with great prizes, the Vortex Fast and Accurate stage and the Nightstick Low Light, No Light stage. The low light, no light, I was watching that. So outside the shooting rooms, they have these big TV screens, and I was watching what it looks like when you're training in the low light, no light. So cool. There's going to be incredible one-day only prices on Glock handguns, also performance parts, flash sale. They're going to be raffling off a custom Glock worth over $1,700 that day. The Glock store and Shoot 270, minutes from the airports, worth the drive from anywhere, especially on June 1st.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Well, the dates are set. June 27th, September 10th, CNN, then ABC. The Biden campaign's already selling free on Wednesday t-shirts, which I find hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Although they missed the mark because the dates for the debates, the days of the week, are Tuesday and Thursday. You should have put them both on Wednesday.
Get them on Wednesdays.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Lean in. Lean in. 615-737-9986 if you want to weigh in on this. My name is Chris Hand. Mac Maury is producing. Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Biden's handlers are allowing him to debate President Trump. First one, June 27th. The Biden campaign's actually making a bunch of demands, though. They're on CNN talking about it now.
President Biden and former President Donald Trump appear to have accepted the terms of a June 27th debate with CNN. That is just 6 weeks away. This will be the first time that we are seeing the two men face off in this presidential election cycle. Of course, they debated 2 times back in 2020. But we're still waiting to learn some of the other details about what exactly this campaign will look like.
Was it only 2 times in 2020? I thought we had 3. There's only 2?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Maybe I'm just misremembering. No, I mean, I'm sure she's right.
My colleague MJ Lee and I have heard from 2 Biden campaign sources who said that they had accepted an invitation for a debate that will take place in studio at CNN's Atlanta offices. But we will see what else the details of this debate will look like. A bit earlier today, former President Trump, for instance, told Fox News in a radio interview that he would be interested in a 2-hour debate that involved podiums. The Biden campaign has also set out very specific details about what they want to see. For instance, the microphones can only be on when each candidate is expected to speak, potentially eliminating some of that very intense back and forth that we saw in the very first debate between Biden and Trump back in 2020.
Microphones that can only be on when each candidate is expected to speak. Who does that help? Who does that hurt? If that's the Biden campaign's demand, I think they're going to feel sorry about that. Because if you remember in that first debate in 2020, one of the reasons that people say Trump lost was because he was talking over Joe. He was angry. He kept interrupting him. They said that he was a bit out of control. I feel like that's going to help Trump. It has to, right? If the microphones can only be on when each candidate is expected to speak, I think, A, that's good for the viewer. You're going to eliminate the crosstalk. We're going to actually hear some points. But listen, I talk to Democrats quite a bit, right? We let them on the show. One of the ways I engage them is I let them speak. Because a lot of times when you let Democrats speak, they go into that circular logic and they make themselves look foolish. I think that this is going to help Trump. If it eliminates the interruptions and it allows Biden to dig himself a hole, then it'll go back over to Trump. And he'll seize on that. That's the move. That's the move. I think that helps Trump. I think that the Biden camp is going to regret that. Dan in Franklin has an idea on moderators. Dan, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, man?
Hey, good to talk to you again.
What do you think, Dan?
Here are my ideas. First debate, Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk as the moderators. Second debate, Charlemagne the God and Ben Shapiro. And I think you would get a tremendous amount of people viewing on both, and you'd bring a lot of young people, certainly if you had Ben Shapiro and Charlemagne the God. That would be extraordinary.
I like the Charlemagne idea. I like that a lot. I think that you do have an opportunity with the moderators to bring in new viewers, different viewers, younger viewers. I don't know if CNN's going to bite on that specifically. They're going to use that as a moment to prop up their new air staff because, as you know, they've been turning over air staff quickly. So they're going to use that to try and make a star out of one of their on-air personalities.
Well, it's a sinking ship, and it should be a sinking ship, and I hope NPR closes very soon because That is the most worthless thing I have ever heard. It's a disaster.
It's not just the most worthless thing you've ever heard, Dan. It's the most worthless thing you've ever paid for.
Sadly.
Appreciate the call. Let's go to Elvis in Laverne. What's up, Elvis?
Hey, brother. Okay, so the best moderator decision would be RFK. Let him moderate.
Yeah, I think that would be great. But I think the best move would be finding an RFK supporter. I think that's the only way you're going to find somebody down the middle.
Yeah. But you can't get anybody that hates the two more than him. So
fair enough. Hey, appreciate your call, man.
Yeah.
CNN asked a Biden campaign spokesman, Quentin Folks, if this is a risky move to debate.
The former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, by the way, Quentin, just told our Manu Raju up on Capitol Hill, and I'm quoting her now, "I would never recommend going on stage with Donald Trump," close quote. Is this a risky move for the president? Why has he decided he wants to do this?
Look, our campaign has been saying for months that democracy is literally at stake and is what's on the ballot in this election. The American people deserve to hear from one of the two of the individuals who have a chance of being elected president of the United States, that are going to represent them on a world stage, that are going to be in charge of the economy that affects their life every day. President Biden deeply believes this. We have nothing to hide. President Biden's incredibly proud of his record.
We have nothing to hide. President Biden's incredibly proud of his record. What is he so proud of? The botched Afghanistan withdrawal? The record-setting inflation? The 2 wars? What does Joe Biden have to be proud of? Walking up the small steps on Air Force One? Is this what they're telling us? We're so proud of his record. The Trump campaign sent a memorandum to the Biden campaign. This just dropped a couple minutes ago. They said, "Dear Jennifer O'Malley, Dylan, and Biden team, today is a good day for America's voters. Now that Joe Biden has finally accepted President Trump's debate challenge. President Trump and our campaign have been requesting for this for months with a consistent message, anytime, anywhere, any place. President Trump has already accepted the CNN debate invitation for June 27th. He also accepted your proposal for a debate in September. But we believe there should be more than just 2 opportunities for the American people to hear from their candidates themselves. With soaring inflation of Bidenomics costing America's hardworking families at the grocery store and at the gas pump, with our border being totally overrun, with chaos at home, chaos across the world, chaos on college campuses, we should have 1 debate per month. Therefore, we propose a debate in June, a debate in July, a debate in August, and a debate in September, in addition to the vice presidential debate. Additional debates will allow voters to have maximum exposure to the records and future visions of each candidate. We believe the American people deserve more than what the Biden administration has to offer. Best regards." So the Trump team wants 1 each month. I'd sign up for that. Would you sign up for that?
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Would you take? I feel like
I don't need that many.
It might lose some steam.
Yeah. I just don't need that many. I'm good.
It might lose some steam. Sue in Clarksville wants to talk about the debates. What's up, Sue?
Hi, Chris. A couple of things. I think that the reason they do not want an audience is because that will be a huge distraction for Biden. He won't be able to stay on track, and he'll be looking at the audience. He would be looking at them and trying to amuse them. And I think the second thing that's going to happen is they're going to have earpieces on Biden, and they're going to feed him answers to any questions, and they're going to feed him amusing little quips so that they can show that, oh, he's right on top of everything. I really think that both of those things are going to happen. I guarantee it.
That's an interesting take. It wouldn't shock me, actually, Sue, if they had Biden with an earpiece or I think it was like the last debate. They were like, he's wearing those contact lenses that are pumping him info. Remember that? Do you remember that theory? That was all over the internet. I remember that. Marjorie Taylor Greene commented on this on Twitter, talking about how they're not going to have any studio audience. She said, controlled, so that an audience can't be heard agreeing and supporting Trump, and the moderators can attack Trump as much as possible while babying butterbeans for brains Biden. Butterbeans for brains? What? I don't know.
Come on, man.
I like MTG. I just don't know what butter beans for brains. I feel like you could. Maybe she was going for alliteration, right?
Yeah,
she wanted to do the BBB.
Yeah, that was it.
I think it missed. My Lawrence Taylor Bam Bam Bigelow joke hit better than that.
Miles better.
Linda in Westmoreland, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Linda?
Hey, what's up, guys? You guys are ramming and grabbing today. I love it.
Thank you. What's up? What are your thoughts on the debate, Linda?
My thoughts on the debate is all I'm hearing is men. Why not? Is it Kelly McEnany?
Kayleigh
Did I say
McEnany?
her name right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Candace Owen. Why don't we have them two in there moderating?
I would love that. I don't think that
Wouldn't
CNN.
that be good?
It would be perfect.
Yeah,
I don't think CNN would sign up for that.
Hey, let Candace Owen unleash on them.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. I mean, Candace Owens too. Wasn't she going to debate Ben Shapiro over over Israel? That was supposed to happen. I don't know what happened to those discussions. Candace Owens is a firecracker. There's been a ton of stuff surrounding her lately. Big fan. It's 11:47 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm gonna talk to Matt Murphy next. We're gonna get his thoughts on the debates, obviously,
of course.
But I also want to get his thoughts on the birthday post from Heidi Campbell. He took note of it as well.
Yes.
So in case you're keeping score at home, Senator Heidi Campbell wished herself a happy birthday on Twitter. It's got 85 likes. I said it's one of the cringiest things I've seen. I quote tweeted it. My tweet has 131 likes. So if we want to keep the route going, we want to blow this out of the water, go like my tweet. So that way we get more likes calling her birthday post cringe than she gets wishing herself a happy birthday. At Chris Hand on air. Hit the follow button. I will follow back. We check in with the one and only Matt Murphy next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 11:55 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, joined by Matt Murphy.
Hello.
Have you wished Heidi Campbell a happy birthday yet?
I don't know. I don't know that I wished her a happy birthday. I did. I posted her tweet where she was wishing herself. I feel awkward wishing someone a happy birthday. Like if it was your birthday and I came in and you're like, hey, this is Chris Hand, and I would just like to remind everyone that it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Pretty cringy.
I mean, do I then wish you? I mean, you just put it out there. Do I say, well, that's good? You know what I would do? I would do exactly what I did to Heidi Campbell, which is, that's great. I'm asking people. You're getting more likes than she is, which is awesome.
Well, I said we want to ratio her. I want my quote tweet calling it cringy to get more likes than her tweet asking for happy birthdays. So
I'm asking
anybody that wants to weigh in on that at Chris Hand on air.
And I'm begging people at Matt Murphy's show to take the photo of Heidi Campbell, and this is a little bit of a heavier lift, although I've gotten several people that have done it, and Photoshop Heidi Campbell and her awkward hands and her made-up birthday hat somewhere in the city of Nashville. Like, did you see this? Somebody said,
oh my gosh.
It's Heidi Campbell in her birthday outfit in a homeless encampment.
not to be confused with birthday suit. It's the outfit from the picture.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want anybody's eyes.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. But we're gonna try to call Heidi. I've decided. I told Bel K that when we get the show started, I want him to call her from the hotline, and maybe today is a day of mending of fences, where I extend an olive branch of friendship and offer her an opportunity to allow me to wish her a happy birthday.
If she calls in, I think the question everybody has: will you sing?
Happy birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday to me. That's so bad. All right, I've got some other news that I need to address. You had John call you. Armored MMA John?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yep.
And he called me. We know John.
Of course.
And John is pitting us in the squared circle, as they say, against one another.
Yep.
And you've agreed to it.
I'm thinking about it.
And okay, you haven't agreed to it. I've agreed to it.
Here's the thing.
I'm all in.
I think my advantage against you is going to be speed. Mm-hmm. And I worry that once I get the armor on, I lose that advantage.
Okay. All right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think you have several advantages. I think you have speed, agility, probably strength. You lifting all those kids over there in Murfreesboro.
Now I feel like you're gassing me up.
Mm. So I have an update.
Okay.
And apparently the powers that be downstairs are aware of this. And I think John is engaged in talking to one of our illustrious, as I lovingly refer to them, sales weasels to make this a big event. And we have pushed this to the powers that be to give the check off, and I'm saddened to report to you that we have news.
What is the news?
The news is, and this is official, that Chris Hand is too much of a valuable asset to be destroyed in an armored MMA contest by Matt Murphy. They're worried that they're going to lose the asset that is Chris Hand.
It's funny because when I brought it up to them, they said the same thing. Chris, you're too valuable.
They said the same thing.
They said the same thing.
It was exactly the same.
It was exactly the same thing.
Murphy Schmurphy, whatever, dime a dozen.
Said if you could talk them into Murphy Mandis, they were like, we got a deal. We got a deal. But
we'll find out. It's ongoing. This might happen though.
I would love for it to happen. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.